So I want to share with you 5 secrets to having a magical life. Hey y'all, I'm Debbie Dobbins. I'm the Queen of Magic, and I teach women how to have an absolutely magical life, one that they design, they craft, that's their dream life. And if you think that's not possible, then don't listen, because honestly, I only want women that believe in magic. And I don't do magic through hocus pocus and lotions and potions and all of that stuff. But I do use universal principles, and I use science and quantum physics and things that are already tested in this amazing planet that we live on right now. So if you like to know more about all of that, please subscribe to this channel because I talk about it on every single video. But I want to share with you 5 secrets of having a magical life that you can start right here, right now, before this video is even over. The first secret is start focusing on what you want and stop focusing on what you don't want. That is the law of all creation. And it's amazing to me how many women, including myself, will get caught up in the trap of focusing on what they don't want and wonder why they're getting more of that. There's a universal law that says where your thought goes, the energy follows. And so I'm going to give you a perfect example of me recently in my own personal life, because even I know how this works, I get caught up in the trap. I've been working on some real estate flips, and I have been saying things like, this is very interesting. I've been saying things like my picker is broken for contractors. I've been doing this for several years, and I've had such a great experience. It's been fun and it generates a lot of wealth. And yet this past few months, I've had nothing but difficulty with contractors. And what I found myself saying over and over and over, even to my very own special coach, that I just don't know why all this is happening to me. And I hear myself thinking, nothing is happening to me, it's happening through me. And the fact is that as long as I keep focusing on these contractors that aren't doing supposedly what they say they're going to do, unfortunately, I keep focusing on that and I can't get to where I need to be. So I honestly had to sit myself down and say, what is it that you want? What is it that you want? And what I want is I want my projects to be finished in a very beautiful way and in a timely way. And that in and of itself, just shifting my focus to what I want, all of a sudden a new contractor showed up who's absolutely beautiful and wonderful. Somebody else showed up to help me clean up some of the mess that was created. But it was just that simple shift of focusing on what I don't want to focusing on what I do want. So that's secret number 1 to creating a magical life. Think about how many times you think about all the things you don't want in your life. It's just a turn of that switch. Secret number 2 is meditate. Now, I know when I say meditate, I find it fascinating that people use the word meditate as if it's the same word as exercise. There's so many different types of meditation, just as there are so many types of exercise. So if I were to say to you, if you want to lose weight, exercise, right? That could be walking, that could be jogging, that could be elliptical, that could be yoga, that could be dance, that could be soccer. I mean, it could be anything. It could be weightlifting. There's so many different types of exercise. And I don't know if you know this or not, but there's so many different types of meditation. And when I say meditate, I mean simply be mindful. Find space in your day to be mindful of what's happening around you. Because if you want to create a magical life, you have to give yourself the space and the grace to do that, even if it's only for a few minutes a day. I'll never forget, there was years ago, I was reading a lot of books on leadership, because what makes a great leader? And the thing that struck me the most out of all the things that I ever read about great leaders, because they all have different mindsets and they're very focused and all of these things, but without question, all of them, and they used it in this book, they called it looking out the window time. So I had this vision of a CEO at a, top of a building 50 stories high or something, in his chair, turning around much like this and just staring out the window. Because what's so important is that you give yourself that time for mindfulness, to really begin to vision, to create this magical life in your mind without any interruptions and without any distractions. And you can do that in so many different ways. And I'm going to do a whole video on meditation, the different types of meditation. So I hope you'll look forward to that. And this is absolutely a huge secret in beginning to create that magical life. Number 3, the secret to creating a magical life is understanding and really incorporating that the stress that we get when things don't go our way is surrendering to the bigger plan, to the universal plan, to God, to whoever it is that you feel like is your higher power. There's a great book called The Surrender Experiment, and I invite you to read that. It is so magical, and he uses the word magic so often, and it really resonated. But his name is Mickey Singer. And this whole book is dedicated to leaning in, and I like the word leaning into when things aren't going your way. Because when you're on a path for a magical life, is the whole path opening up like you're going into an enchanted forest? Generally not. Sometimes it is, and some days it is. But other days, when you're on a path and you're changing your habitual patterns and your behavior that you've had for years and years and years, you're going to get pushback from your ego, from your habitual self. And so one of the things that's so important is for you not to get energy around the hiccups, the speed bumps, the boulders in the road. I found myself speaking to somebody recently that the boulders, I shared about the contractors recently, that the boulder in the road just felt like every time I'd try to go through it, the boulder would get bigger, because that's what's happening is my energy was on what I didn't want, focusing on what I didn't want. So of course it appeared to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And so part of when I said I was focusing on what I did want was also that letting go process. There's a phrase called surrender to win, and I love it so much because once you push and push and push, you're going to start building resistance. And so leaning in, and when I say leaning in, if you've ever done a trust fall, I used to do trust falls at my seminars, and what I found was I did them because the first trust fall that I ever did, I was so worried that the group was going to drop me. Guess what? They did, because I wasn't trusting. So whatever you focus on, you're going to magically have it appear for you. And the fact is that once I learned that just falling into, leaning back to, leaning in, surrendering to this magical space that's the universe, that's life, this beautiful energy that's surrounding all of us, allows you to have absolute magic in your life. And the 4th secret to having a magical life is forgiveness. So I recently became certified to train on what's called the 6-phase meditation. And the meditation is great, and you can download it for free in the body of this video. But the most beautiful thing is, in this 6-phase meditation, the 2nd phase is about forgiveness. And what is so remarkable about forgiveness is that it does so much to your physicality. They've done so many studies now. I love the fact that we live in a time where we can study everything in the body, and that the forgiveness component is so powerful that it literally can heal anything in your physical body, which is so remarkable. And they've done also studies with the alpha and theta brain waves when someone is in a forgiveness meditation or a forgiveness process, because what happens is you begin to open up to receive so much good in your experience. And so I cannot speak about forgiveness enough. And that being said, I know there's some of you that are watching this going, I can't forgive such and such. I can't forgive this. I can't forgive that. And those are the places that need the healing in your heart more than anything. That truly is a very magical step. It's a secret step in creating a magical life. Because if you have any of that resentment. They say resentments are like taking a poison pill and expecting the other person to die. There is nothing more important than having that clear channel, that heart opener, that ability to forgive all of those things that have kept you stuck up until now, because each one is like removing another layer of that onion. You are so magical, but you've layered and layered and layered on top of that magic. And the only way to unravel it is to begin to forgive. And the secret to having a magical life is to give. Give, 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 give. I've said this on so many videos, but giving is more than just giving your money. It truly is being of service to the world. So what is your gift to the world? You can make money on it. You can create a business around it. You can ask for money. I find fascinating that we've entered an era now of philanthropic businesses. I remember Tom's shoes when they first came out, and people were so excited to buy Tom's shoes. They weren't really anything spectacular, but with every shoe, they would give a pair of shoes to someone in need in a third world country. And that set off this firestorm of people wanting to be of service. So no matter what it is that you do, whatever it is that you're good at, you have to give that gift to the world. You can make millions and millions and millions while doing that at the same time. But understanding the component of giving is absolutely essential and critical to having a magical life. There is nothing that is more important than all of these things put together, but each one individually, you can start anywhere. You can start today with any of those 5. As I said, you can download the 6-phase meditation right now and start. You can start with the forgiveness model, or you can start by giving today. You can give. I love, and I've shared this on many videos, I love just giving money to people that aren't expecting it. Put money in a card and take it in your car, or walk down the street and hand it to a person. And don't expect a response. The thing about giving is you have to give with a giver's heart. And whether that is you're being of service, you're working at a soup kitchen, you're helping kids. I went and talked to Girl Scouts recently. That was just a moment of service for me. It was a moment for me to share with girls who are going to turn into women, that my heart is so dedicated to women that I really truly felt filled up when I left there. So there's so many ways that you can give. There's so many ways that you can do any of these 5 secrets that I just shared with you. I would love it if you would post in the comments what you've done to move the needle of being in that magical life, because we all deserve it. We are all queens of magic. I just happen to be the queen of magic, sheltering you and shamaning you into being your own queen of magic. And if you like what you heard on this video, please subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, comment on the video, and as I always say, y'all come back now, you hear?